Takamura's world title unification match against Richard Bison is the closest that Takamura has come to losing a fight. In the beginning portion, Takamura had to slowly dismantle Bison's arsenal until unexpectedly Takamura's messed up eye and leg kicked in. Bison then landed career-ending punches, leaving Takamura barely standing on his feet. This was the closest he had ever come to losing, to the point where even the towel was thrown. After Ippo's loss to Alfredo Gonzalez, it was revealed that Takamura would have another world title fight, but this time instead of moving up another weight class, it would be a title unification bout for the middleweight championship. On the undercard, Sendo and Mashiba would have their fights, as all the other Kamogawa boys had lost recently, which amused Takamura to the point that he became a complete goddamn degenerate. If that wasn't enough, he even went up to Aoki, gave him some cake, then hit him with a twerk until Aoki completely lost it. The next day, Kamogawa wanted Ippo to tag along with Takamura's training, which infuriated Takamura because he had to train alongside with a big loser. But this time, the tone shifted to a serious one. Takamura had a deep talk with Ippo, mentioning that Kamogawa was hurt by Ippo's loss and that Ippo just took that L without making excuses. Takamura then said that Ippo is simply not cut out for the world stage and drew a line in the dirt, saying that beyond that line is where real monsters reside. If Ippo wanted to remain human, he shouldn't cross it. Ippo wanted to step over it, but hesitated, ultimately taking a detour to catch up to Takamura instead. Takamura just wanted Ippo to leave, but then bluntly revealed his true intentions for this unification match. It was just a roadblock to his actual goal of becoming the man to conquer 6 weight classes, so he didn't give a flying crap about the WBA middleweight champion Richard Bison. On the day of the fight, Mashiba and Sendo were having a diva fight over who would be the opening act for Takamura's match. They brawled it out like it was a WWE backstage segment, and in the end it was decided that Mashiba would go first. But before that, he wanted to give Sendo a goodbye fist. Mashiba entered the ring all banged up to heat it up and just wanted the match to be over with. He defended his OPBF title and returned backstage, where Sendo welcomed him by fisting his title. Mashiba wished Sendo good luck by almost knocking him out, which resulted in Sendo also stepping out with a bloody face. He too wanted to end the match as quickly as possible, but he probably should have taken this fight seriously since his opponent was the Mexican featherweight champion and ranked 5th in the world, Jose Nargo. We later learned that Nargo has Ricardo Martinez's coach in his corner and regularly spars with Martinez. Sendo used a strategy where he let Nargo jab him for multiple rounds until Nargo saw an opening to land a KO punch. When Sendo finally got the chance to land that punch in the 8th round, Nargo clinched, but he wasn't safe. Sendo simply laid his glove on Nargo's stomach and started twisting his fist, turning Nargo's skin upside down to the point that felt like it was peeling off. Now Sendo had completely intimidated Nargo and started throwing devastating smashes to scare the poor champion. Nargo landed a perfect counter, which had no effect, and Sendo then finished him off by literally chopping his head off. After the fight, Sendo wanted Ricardo's coach to send a message to Alfredo Gonzalez, telling him that he was coming after him. But as you guys know, Ricardo's coach has nothing to do with Alfredo Gonzalez, so his message just vanished into nothingness. At last, we are finally about to witness the title unification bout. With no time wasted, the fight begins now. Bison enters the Detroit style, an old school fighting stance from which the Hitman stance originated, incorporating the flicker jabs. Takamura walks straight toward Bison and tries to deflect the jabs, but greatly underestimates the power behind them, which are compared to a pair of nunchaku. Realizing the danger, Takamura shifts his focus to dodging the flickers until he gets close enough to Bison. However, Bison also is capable of defending himself whenever Takamura closes the distance and jabs him away each time. By the end of the first round, Bison turns his back and calls Takamura a damn thief. We then get a flashback. Bison once qualified for the Olympics but was defeated in the finals by none other than David Eagle. Envious of Eagle's success, Bison sought to challenge him for the middleweight championship, until Takamura came in and took the title from Eagle first. Now, Bison sees Takamura as the thief who stole the belt he rightfully should have taken. Meanwhile, Kamogawa and Takamura struggle to find a way to break through Bison's style. Kamogawa jokingly suggests that Takamura should just ask his opponent what to do. Still unable to get into Bison's reach, Takamura actually takes Kamogawa's advice to heart by copying the Detroit style himself. Now Takamura is throwing flickers of his own, and they are so powerful that they nearly blow out Bison's arm. The flickers are now compared to that of a chain mace. It's now an all-out flicker fight. Takamura gets pushed into the corner and asks the boys what Takamura can do. And yes, he literally asks, what can Takamura do? Aoki gives the most obvious of answers, prompting Takamura to promise that Aoki will be there and meet after the fight. Later, Takamura gets cornered again and asks the same question. This time Kimura responds, but he slays Takamura a bit too much, to the point that Takamura also promises Kimura will be there and meet. Also, as the fight goes on, Takamura slowly adapts to the flickers and starts landing punches on Bison, but Bison locks in, executes a flicker counter and nearly sends Takamura down. Takamura could barely hold his balance and just threw whatever punches he could do to keep Bison away, like he was playing Mortal Kombat for the first time in his life, spamming any button until the round ended. Now it was Ippo's turn to answer the question, what can Takamura do? Ippo simply said that he should do his best. That was the answer Takamura was looking for. Fired up, he charged back into the fight. Bison forced Takamura into the corner and prepared to land a devastating flicker jab. But before Bison could react, Takamura asked him the same question, what can Takamura do? And before Bison knew it, Takamura used the exact flicker counter Bison had used earlier, landing a brutal counter of his own and sending Bison crashing to the mat. The round ended and Bison was furious. In the next round, both men abandoned the Detroit style entirely, going all in on a full-blown infight. By the end of the exchange, Bison landed a chopping right while Takamura landed a crushing uppercut. Big man Takamura congratulated Bison and gave him 100 points for his performance. Unfortunately for Bison, Takamura is the million-point man. The next round began and Bison, now desperate, threw everything he had to land a hit. When he realized Takamura was about to finish the fight, he had no choice but to send a left hook, a punch any other boxer would have seen coming and dodged, but for some reason Takamura didn't dodge it. The hook blasted Takamura unconscious, but he still didn't go down. He tried to fight back, but Bison caught him with another hook. Even Kamigawa started to wonder, is Takamura blind from the right eye? But that wasn't the only concern. Takamura also had a messed up right foot, visibly struggling to move. When he got into his corner, Kamigawa tested whether Takamura was blind and Takamura passed the test, but his right leg was legitimately wrecked. The corner tried their best to patch it up, but when the fight resumed, Takamura had to drag his leg to just stand. Bison wasted no time. He charged straight at Takamura, ruthlessly exploiting his weakness. Takamura tried to hold his ground, but Bison overwhelmed him, pushing him into a corner where there was no escape. In the corner, Bison just spammed everything. Counters, straights, hooks, anything to finally send Takamura down, while Takamura desperately searched for an opening to keep Bison away. The boys cheered their hearts out for Takamura to stay on his feet, but their voices were all for nothing. Takamura's eardrum was busted. He couldn't hear a damn thing. He glanced at Kamigawa and saw the same expression Kamigawa had when Ippo lost to Alfredo Gonzalez. Takamura refused to burn Kamigawa the way Ippo did. He promised himself he wouldn't go down, no matter what Bison threw at him, because if he hit the canvas, the referee would stop the match on sight just from the state of his face alone. Kamigawa, unable to bear watching his boxer get brutalized any longer, decided to throw in the towel. But at the last second, Aokimura caught it. In a last-ditch effort, everyone in the arena roared for Takamura to hold on. At the moment, a flashback from 1,000 chapters ago hit him, when he first taught Ippo the importance of the toe in boxing. Takamura shifted all his weight onto a single toe on his left foot, and finally deflected Bison's left hook. Bison, undeterred, threw a right hook. Takamura responded with a right hook of his own. The sheer force split his toenail, but the punch connected. Bison's stupid face slid down the corner of the ring, but Bison was still conscious and wanted to end the match right there. Takamura obliged. One last time, he put all his weight into his destroyed toe, his toenail shattering completely, and landed the decisive hook that sent Bison crashing to the mat, ending the match. With this victory, Takamura claimed the WBA world title, officially earning his third world championship. Of course, his ego skyrocketed from the win, and he just had to trash talk to the audience. Predictably, they pelted him with garbage and he was escorted out of the building yet again. I'd like to thank CDAT for being an awesome member and continuing supporting this channel. If you've enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Japanese content. I'm the Ream Crow, and thanks for watching.